If you are positive, you better bless this space. If you are negative, you better get up on my face. If you are positive, you better bless my space. If you are negative, you better get up on my face. If you are positive, you better bless our space. If you are negative, you better get up on our faces.
Period.
After she all made me all nervous and stuff. God. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Witches and Weebs, where otaku and spirituality come together. We are your lovely hosts. I am Azari.
I am Space. Welcome.
And I've been struggling to put this bracelet on for like 5 minutes.
Why didn't you do that before we recorded, Mia?
I was trying to, and I was struggling with it.
I actually forgot to put all my jewelry on today.
It's
just
okay.
reminding me.
Well, welcome, everybody. Today's episode is about Baroque Bitch Witch Tips. Yeah, basically us. Wee!
Pretty much us. Like, the uses for Italian seasoning in your closet. Like, you got some Italian seasoning in your phone? Kind of vibes? I said phone. Nice. No, Mia, put it down.
I don't have any Italian seasoning in here.
I have Italian seasoning in my cabinet, which, you know what? Makes a great spell.
It does.
Huh.
Black pepper, too. We talked about that in one of our older episodes, that black pepper's really good and very easily accessible.
Good for protection, cleansing. It also is very good if you want to give somebody some spice in their life, as in, like, left-hand work.
I see. For context, this episode, as I said, is about Broke Bitch Witch Tips. So we're going to basically give you an idea of things that you can use that are cost efficient, so you don't have to spend $1 billion trying to find expensive crystals and saffron and all this really expensive things that are required for spell work, but they're not actually required for spell work.
None of it is really required, but I know that working with items does help you manifest your energy better.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can visualize your energy going into that item. If you're just working with your energy in your hands, that's a little hard. So working with items is easier for a beginner who is not mastered in manipulating their energy.
Right.
Now, that said, when you're a beginner, there is absolutely no reason to invest hundreds of dollars in supplies at first because you don't even know if it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
You might discover that this style of witchcraft isn't for you and you need to go somewhere else.
Right.
So that's why we're in this segment, which is Broke Bitch Witch Tips. And I actually also have to point out we have a guest today. Apolito.
Hello, Abuelito.
Has arrived. He is gonna, his real name is Apollo, obviously, after the god. He's gonna hang out with us today, hopefully, for a little bit. So, let's break down some Broke Witch Tips, which is basically us just talking about what we do as witches.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're talking from experience and currently.
We're not broke. We're just not as wealthy as we'd like to be right now.
Fair. We get to do this so we're doing okay. But do I still use Italian seasoning as a protection spell? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because this has oregano, thyme, and sage in it. Protection. Rosemary can be anything. It's a great manipulator of energy, so it can, whatever energy you put into it, you want protection, it'll give you protection. You want cleansing, it'll give you cleansing. You want prosperity, it'll give you prosperity. It's whatever you want. But sage, thyme, and oregano are all very good protection herbs. So this little thing in my cabinet is one hell of a spell.
If you've got pink Himalayan salt, really good for self-love spells. I actually was going to make a vial, a little vial for self-love with using primarily pink Himalayan salt. So
that's smart, actually. Salt, also any kind of salt, depending on like sea salt, salt, regular table salt, kosher salt, all very good for protection and cleansing. I use it at my front door underneath my doormat so that everything that comes into my door is cleansed. I also make black salt with a little charcoal, some incense. I just let the incense burn into a little jar. And it falls the ashes. Mix up that. Black salt. Protection.
Mm-hmm. If you have the tools at your disposal, use them. It's kind of like cooking in a sense, where if you don't have that specific ingredient, but you have the ingredients to make that ingredient, you can substitute it. Sometimes
Absolutely.
you can substitute baking powder and baking soda in cooking. Sometimes you can make your own buttermilk with, milk and... It's not butter. It's like... I forget how to make buttermilk, but I can cook. Don't worry about it. I just forgot how to make buttermilk.
I don't remember how to make buttermilk, but I know it's you add something into the butter, the milk.
I think it's lemon.
Oh yeah, I think it is lemon. Is it?
Please hold while we look up how to make buttermilk. Vinegar and lemon. Okay, right. So it's milk, vinegar, and lemon.
Okay, I thought that something needed vinegar, but I was like, maybe that's mozzarella to separate the curd.
It's buttermilk. Buttermilk is lemon juice, vinegar, and milk. And there you have your buttermilk.
Now, that being said, she actually brings up a very good point about cooking. Let's say that this goes along to one of our last episodes, Broom Closet Witches. Learn how to cook. Because you just get the excuse to buy a lot of herbs. Buy a lot of spices. And spices, herbs, anything that you use in a kitchen can be used in a spell.
Mm-hmm. And even if it's cheap, that doesn't mean it's not going to be effective. Does not matter how much it costs. If the intention is there, it'll work.
The intention and the action to go along with that intention is there? Absolutely. You can use what you already own.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have jars that I cleaned out. Man, this dust is fucking embarrassing. But, rose petals. I cleaned out this jar after getting some fucking... I don't remember what was in it. But I just cleaned it out and used it to hold...
Yep.
I think that
have some too.
Upcycling jars from stuff like tomato sauce, all kind of things like that, makes for a very witchy aesthetic. And I think that fits with what we're going for.
You see how Space has like rose petals? And I have just, tiny...
The buds. She has the little buds.
Both still effective.
And it's funny, they could also, depending on what you have, like I have rose petals because I actually have a rose bush outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, rose petals, different pieces of a flower can be useful for different things and different spells. They can be useful for the same things, but they can also be useful for different things. Like if you want to get super intentional with what ingredients you use, that's a good way to do it. Thrift stores.
Space actually did bring up a good point. If you can't purchase anything, but you're around a lot of nature, green bushes, trees, the environment is your best friend. Nature is your best friend.
Make sure to say thank you when you take something from the tree. You ask because they are living beings. They feel. They are sentient. We have discovered that grass feels when it's cut. So I always say, may I take a flower? And typically nothing is going to say no. I'll take a flower and say thank you and everything is all right.
Right.
Just be nice. They're creatures too.
Mm-hmm.
But nature is absolutely your best friend. For sure. To get free stuff.
Right.
I've asked for signs from the environment. I've gotten raven feathers delivered to my front door. I've gotten, those little pine cones. And there's not a fucking pine tree in the area. I live in California. Where are there pine trees?
It's just airdrop like delivery from nature. Like, here you go.
I think it was probably a crow. Mans was like, here you go.
This is for you now.
But another best friend is thrift stores. And I'm not talking Goodwill. I'm talking about your mom and pop place where, because Goodwill sucks dick and it's a corporation now, and they also are just really expensive.
For some reason.
I go in there and the pants are like $10. I'm like, these have holes in them, my guy. And God forbid they still have the tag, then they're $35.
I thought Goodwill was just like free. People can come in and pick up some clothes.
Nope. No, it's profit. It's for profit. 100% for profit.
Oh.
It didn't used to be that bad. They would like literally sell it for like $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
It was just to keep the doors open and to pay their volunteers.
Oh.
Which totally makes sense. Totally valid.
Right.
I agree with at least pay your people. So yeah, charge some money. But they don't need to be charging shit for $25.
Especially if it has
Goodwill.
holes in them and they're used stuff.
Goodwill. Anyway, don't go to Goodwill. Go to the little thrift stops that are probably like this big, and they'll got jars, they'll got all kind of shit. They'll got great antiques too. Great stuff to fit the aesthetic.
I haven't been to a thrift shop in so long. I went to a thrift shop once with one of my old friends, and I loved it. I was broke, so I couldn't buy anything. But
I will take you to some down here. You'll love it.
I love thrifting. It has such cute clothing, and they're not expensive. They're cost efficient.
Yeah, they're cost efficient because they're also good clothing. Typically, I mean, nowadays maybe not because of all the fast fashion that you're getting. Ugh. But back when I was really thrift shopping a couple years ago, yeah, I could get like, I have I believe, a Dolce & Gabbana shirt that I bought for like $20.
Mm-hmm. We say ugh to fast fashion, but honestly,
if you need fast fashion,
it's like fast food. If you
need it,
feel like spending a bunch of money to buy groceries because you don't feel like cooking, you order a burger from somewhere.
I was like, I get it. Like, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. No one can consume ethically. Don't lose sleep over it if you buy fast fashion.
Right. Don't let people bully you.
But it just shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the future of fashion.
It shouldn't, but
that's why because I love fashion.
Like right
and fast
now,
fashion ruins the style of fashion. So,
but I would rather spend $5 for fast fashion than pay $20 for a shirt somewhere else.
That is the same quality. That's the difference. When you're paying for quality, then I absolutely say pay for quality. Because even in the witchcraft, like this double back to this, eventually you will want to buy quality equipment. You will want to upgrade your little you want to upgrade into a little cast iron that you can burn incense into. It's the same thing with fashion. It's the same thing with anything. But when you put money into something, that thing is going to last. That cast iron cauldron that you would buy, the last thing you'll ever need to buy for that.
Right.
That's going to last you the rest of your witching career.
I love cast iron anything.
It's like, that applies to literally everything in life. Yes, buy cheap now because you're just getting into it. You're just experiencing it. And if you break anything, if you destroy any of your stuff, it's not going to be that big of a deal because you bought it at the thrift store or you bought it at the dollar store, because I get a lot of my witchcraft stuff from the dollar store.
Right.
Especially herbs.
And tea lamps.
Tea leaf candles.
Tea leaf candles. Got this little good boy. Dollar
Those are great for if you do not have time to leave a spell burning. Because if you get a candle that's this big, you got like 4 or 5 hours before that shit's done burning. You get this, 30 minutes. Spell done. If you want to get into tarot, but don't have the money to spend on a nice tarot deck, because I will say, do not buy cheap tarot decks. They are crap.
Yes, they are. Card quality is awful. I also have a few.
And I will admit that is something that you need to spend some money on. However, I will teach you something. You can use regular playing cards.
Yay!
Use regular playing cards. There are cartomancy is this style of witchcraft that is just played with regular playing cards, and they give you, it's just the minor arcana without the major.
Right. And tarot cards used to be playing cards. So it works.
And if you are artistic and would be into something like this, like Mia, could draw her own tarot deck.
I could. I might. That might be a project I start later down the line.
That would be really cool. A Witches and Weebs themed tarot deck.
You know what?
But anyway, let's talk that into existence.
We're gonna write it down.
Yeah, we're gonna write that little tidbit down. But anybody artistic, and it will come from you, so it's gonna be so in tune with you that it might be the only tarot deck you ever use.
Mm-hmm.
Because it came from here. Green thumbs. Anybody that got a green thumb, just grow your herbs yourself.
Oh,
Cut that shit off, tie it up in a little string, hang it up on your kitchen. What I wouldn't give to be able to do this.
If you have
space
a balcony
to do this,
and you don't have like a field that you could plant, buy one of those little planters that you can hang off your balcony. You can still grow things up there. That's what I plan on doing with my husband. We're gonna start a little crop with a planter on our balcony. Maybe put a little scarecrow on it so we can scare little birds away. Because the birds are plentiful around here, okay?
Dude, I've been seeing butterflies so much in my little area, and birds and all kind of little life. I saw a lizard that was this big, and we saw a fucking praying mantis at one point.
When we were driving the other day, we had a little grasshopper, a little baby grasshopper on our windshield while we were driving back home, and it was so cute. It's like,
oh, I remember we did see a grasshopper too. This reminds me. We're talking about nature, so let me. If you're working with deities, a lot of them love handmade offerings or nature offerings, stuff you can get for free outside.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say, in regards to deities, if you're starting off, make sure that you are not being tricked by a trickster.
Yeah, I would just say if you're a beginning witch, don't work with deities.
Yes.
Unless
you're in a closed practice deities where you know where that deity will be with you. Other than that, try to stay away from them until you're more educated with the subject.
The irony is, I was a beginning... God damn it.
Let's try that again.
That's why. The irony is, I know why I just sneezed. Because Poseidon was like, bitch, you were a beginning witch working with me. But that's because this motherfucker wouldn't leave me alone. I had dreams about him. He would literally, anytime I picked up my little fucking pendulum, start spelling his fucking name. I wouldn't even ask a question. He's like, I am Poseidon. And I'm like, okay, leave me alone. So, he's saying, you're talking shit, bitch. But I would just not recommend it because you can get tricked, and it's very hard to confirm deities without a lot of information, work, and research.
Right, because there's some drama on spiritual TikTok right now.
Really?
Yeah. So Jasmine called out another witch, quote unquote, because they were saying that they were communing with I cannot remember the name.
There's some people on Witch Talk that we'll talk about the idea of Witch Talk eventually.
Hold on. I'm going to see if I can find the video.
There's some things that people do that they don't understand what they're doing.
Okay. So it was a girl who was saying that she was communing with Ocean. And
Ocean.
Ocean, yes. I might sound a little ignorant
Ocean.
here, but she's not Nigerian. And I'm pretty sure
okay, so
it's I know it's a Yoruba deity.
I'm gonna say that
it's specifically to voodoo.
I'm gonna say with that religion, you can be initiated into it regardless of your background. However, I automatically red flags anytime I don't know them and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm working with any kind of close practice." I'm like I automatically do not trust you.
Baji's initiated into voodoo, so Baji could commune with Ocean.
But he's been initiated by a proper priestess of voodoo.
But we don't know nothing about this girl, and people are calling her out, and people who practice voodoo are calling her out like, no, you're not. We communed with Ocean, has no idea who you are.
100%.
And I was like, that's interesting. And Jasmine was like, you're probably getting tricked by a trickster. Because most of the witches on Witch Talk who like to do the mainstream things always reference that they're talking to the same deity. And it's like, there's no way that all of you mainstream witches are communing with the same deity. That doesn't seem suspicious to you?
Like the fact that I work with Poseidon is already a big difference considering whatever. It's either, I work with Aphrodite, I work with Persephone, I work with Hades. It's always those three. Anytime you work with one of the main, you work with the Poseidon and Zeus, you're a terrible person, You don't understand the mythologies. Yes, Zeus slept with everything, but he was also the father of everything. It was the whole point.
I haven't communed with any deities yet, or if I have, I've completely missed it. But as far as I'm concerned, I haven't communed with any deities. So
typically you would know. So you might just probably have somebody like watching over you, and just because not everybody will have a deity that reaches out to them,
and that's okay. Don't think that you have to force yourself to try and talk to a deity to be considered a witch. You don't at all.
And truthfully, most of you won't need to ever commune with a deity because there's no point unless you're doing deity related work. I was reached out to by Zeus and Poseidon, but I kind of already had the suspicion on one of them because, again, it's been something that has followed me through my whole life. It's not brand new to me.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a regular occurring theme in my life, and I was getting into witchcraft, and they were like, "Holy shit, finally, bitch, I've been talking to you for years." So, that was the thing with me, but that's not with everybody.
If you know,
with 90% of people.
If you're questioning it, then you don't know.
You probably not know.
But if you know, listen, trust your intuition unless you're like on both your intuition.
If you feel that you're probably that is right. Because I never felt that I was very confident that that was motherfucking Poseidon talking to me. I never felt the but I have felt the when other spirits talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple times. Because I am somebody that I would say that I commune with the spirits very easily. They talk to me very easily. Not that I actually want to. Go away. You guys are annoying. Because they don't understand that we can hear them. They be saying shit. They like talking to my name. I'm like, I'm busy.
Space is projecting because we just finished a D&D campaign called Bake the Evil Away. And their character was communed by a lot of trickster gods because they had the worst vicious mockery line of all time.
It's my first D&D campaign. Leave me alone.
So.
It is funny that happened in game. Now that you just bring that up, that's hilarious. Anyway, art imitates life. It just dawned on me. That is a very good point. I got water in my eyes. Oh, If you go to places like farmers markets, you can get stuff for really cheap because you skip the grocery store.
True.
So, any kind of green thumb, like, kind of stuff that you need, like, cooking-wise, look at farmers markets.
Kitchen witchery is so cool.
Because it's just multifaceted. It just gives
so
you
cool.
so much to work with. I love kitchen witchery.
Like a dash of Italian seasoning, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. I'm gonna put some lemon in here. And it's like, wow, what spell you cooking up over there? And can I have some, please?
What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. You got me all distracted.
You were talking about green thumbs in farmers markets.
Yes. If you ever want somewhere to maybe do witchcraft because you don't have space in your house, outside is a great place to do a spell because you can just commune with nature and just ask nature to be like, hey, can you help me do this spell? They'll be more than happy to help you. The earth will help you. Any kind of... A lot of people have ritual tools, such as like those knives that they use to cut a circle around them through energy and stuff like that. Anything that you cleanse your energy into can be a ritual tool. True, my husband got me this little like metal wand thingy. It wasn't really meant for witchcraft because the store that he bought it from was certainly not witchy at all. But did I cleanse that and use that as my wand forever until it broke? Absolutely. It was a gift from my husband, so it was connected to me. And it was really cute.
That said, if someone that you consider a loved one gives you anything, that's something that you can bless for your own spirituality or your witchcraft. Be careful with strangers if they give you things and you don't know them from a can of paint, because you never know when they might be accidentally cursing you or cursing you on purpose. So just be cautious, be wary. Don't be too skeptical, but just keep that reservation just in case. If you feel something's off when someone gives you a gift, say thank you and then just... You know, it might sound ungrateful, but you don't need that energy in your home at all.
And to be honest, most of the time you can cleanse those kind of items from that energy, so long as you know how to work with energy. So there's nothing ever... And I will say that most of the time people give bad energy, not on purpose. So that's why you have to take, when you get an item that you're like, there's something off, it's not intentional. It's most likely not intentional. Most people operate from a place of ignorance and selfishness. And I'm not even talking in a bad way. It's just that they only know that their perception of reality. And they think that their perception of reality is the only one that exists. They don't understand that every single person has a different perception of reality.
They're not emotionally educated enough yet to understand that stuff.
So it's not done on purpose, and that's why you kind of can like get away with just cleansing the energy away. Now, if you cleanse it and you still feel that bad vibes, probably done on purpose. So you have to be very, very careful when you accept gifts from people that are not close to you. People that are close to you can tend to typically just cleanse any kind of self-consciousness they might have given, because it's like, I don't know if they'll like this. That energy goes into that item, and you'll feel that energy. So it's not like, oh, they curse this energy at me. No, it's literally them worrying that you're not gonna like their item. They're not gonna like their gift.
It happens to a lot of people, okay? Sometimes you just don't know, and then you get nervous, and it's like, well, what if they don't like it? Oh, man, I hope they like it.
That's why I made that the example. It's because it shows that literally anybody can do this. Even people like us, because I will always worry about someone liking a gift that I'm gonna give them. Even if I've spent ages researching the gift to know that it's absolutely something they're gonna like, I still am gonna be like, what if they hate it? What if they hate it?
Everyone is magical. Some are just more in tune with their higher selves than others.
We all have
Everyone
an
is
element
magical.
of magic in us because we are a part of the universe, and the universe is magic. The fact that this planet exists is evidence of magic.
Like, how did
Everything
this happen?
lined up. Everything lined up so perfectly for our planet to exist. This place is magic.
Ain't no way that this is science. Science is not gonna do this. Now, I'm not saying that science is bad, but this isn't science at all.
Because science ain't even right about half the shit that they're talking about right now.
Because if it was
Science
science,
is
how did they
magic
get the means?
explained. You know what I mean?
Yes. Perfect.
Science is magic explained.
So don't shit on magic. And don't shit on
Because-
science.
At one point, what our ancestors thought was magic is now our science.
Herbal
They
remedies.
saw fire for the first
medication.
time. That was magic. They saw fire for the first time. Magic. They saw lightning for the first time. Magic. Why do you think the gods exist? Because they literally thought everything was magic.
Point
That's
made.
why literally everything. Oh, if there's any crystal that you really want to get as a beginner witch, let me talk about this real fast. Selenite. Selenite is the best option for you to get as a beginner witch because one, easy to get. It's really cheap. You can get a little piece for like $3.
Selenite
Actually.
and quartz are both
Selenite is
really
for
good.
cleansing. Selenite is for cleansing. I have this one right here.
I
This is
also
what I
a
have.
selenite somewhere.
I bought this for like $5. Probably a little bit more expensive now, probably about $8. But this one's pretty big. Like, it's not small.
Mine is chunky, and it cracked. And it's funny because there was one day where I was feeling so anxious. I felt I had doom posting the person inside of me.
Uh-huh.
And I was so anxious. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's happening? Why do I feel like this? What's going on? I picked up my selenite, chipped right here instantly. And I was like, oh. Well, I felt better afterwards. I was like, oh. Well, whatever it was, it's gone now. Bye-bye.
Wow, that's a little bit of a little sign there.
Like, that was crazy. Quartz is really good for enhancing the properties of other crystals. So always get a quartz, always get a selenite. This is basically like your generator or whatever those things called that just feed energy into stuff. These two are really, really good starter crystals. Now, I'm actually doing a short series on this, so you'll learn more about it. So I'll just talk about it a little bit. Amethyst, good. Rose quartz, good. Cheap. Pearls, great. Like,
Not so cheap.
Jasper, agate, cheap. Jades can get for cheap. Like, and they're all good for starting off spirituality and witchcraft journey. Great beginner crystals.
100% always. My starter crystal is always going to be selenite for people. I just think it's a great starting crystal because it just works so well. And you never have to mess with it. You never have to charge it. You never have to do anything to it. But that might be the ADHD in me talking, actually.
Well, you do want to cleanse your selenite under the moon.
But it doesn't need to be like, you don't have to do it every use.
Yeah, you can do it every
It's not
so
like with
often.
other... Yeah, it's like you do it once a month and that's it. And
Whereas some
but with
other
other
crystals need,
you have to
like,
do it
frequently.
every time you use it.
like obsidian, and I have a short about that, so make sure you go check it out after you watch this video.
We've got shorts coming out. We've got so much stuff. I want to talk about that, but we'll do it at the end of the episode, I promise. I've got more to say about Broke Witch tips because you're also very, very best friend is networking with other witches, because they will be willing to help you out.
Right.
I will be like, anybody want some herbs or pepper? Or like, I have this big jar of pepper. I'm gonna send Mia a bunch of shit. I'm gonna send her the resin runes that I got.
We are those people. So
that'll help you out.
Ask
100%.
questions galore. We'll answer them as best as we can.
If we know, and if we don't know, we will direct you to somewhere that will, or at least the way to get the information. Because we don't know everything, and we don't really know. We're learning. We're learning just like the rest of you. We're learning as this series goes on. So whatever we don't know, we will learn about, and we will help you learn about. So networking is a great way to get past the block of maybe not being able to research stuff. Also, based on researching, are pirates. Be a pirate.
Be a pirate.
Pirates are good.
Pirates are great. Just go go out to sea and sail.
Just go out to sea, go into your little the interwebs, Google how to get stuff for free because it is out there. There's archive.org.
I will say, don't actually Google free. Google open source, because free is going to direct you to a lot of things that are free but are actually just trials that you still have to input your credit card information into. So use open
I just
source.
learned something. Okay, I just learned something because holy shit, why did you never teach me that before?
You never asked.
That's fair. But yeah, Google open source.
Yeah, most of the time open source is something that's being built by a community of people. And so
nice. Free. But yes, there's open source for PDFs, there's open source for books. There's a website that you can if you really do find a book that you like and want to get it, there is thriftbooks.com.
We will have all these links in the description below, so make sure you check that out.
Absolutely. I have it up. There's thriftbooks.com. I get tons of books through there for really cheap. I got like 12 books at one time. They were poetry books, let me preface. But I got like 12 books for $50. That's less than $3 a book, because tax included.
If you are a very specific kind of spiritual person or an internet witch who kind of uses programs for their spell casting, Humble Bundle will probably have some really good stuff clumped up together for cheap. I love using Humble Bundle. It's for basically anything for artists, gaming. I haven't seen if they have anything for witchcraft, but I'll definitely check it out after this. But Humble Bundle has a lot of really good things, especially for internet users for cheap. And you get a lot, like a money's worth of it. Also, that reminds me, applications are your best friend. There is applications where you can keep track of the moon phases, and it will give you information about what those moon phases do. There is astromatrix.com, which is basically my holy grail of phone apps because it just tells you everything right there. All the like, what's going on in the sky, it tells you. Astromatrix, and it's completely free. You just have to sometimes watch an ad, but for all the information they give you, it's worth the ad. Yeah, what's
it's like
60 seconds? 60 seconds, 30 seconds, it's not bad. You can spare a minute.
You can truly spare a minute as to not pay for something. There's also Turo apps. I don't know how to pronounce this one, but I will link it below. It starts with an L, and it's my favorite Turo place to look up the definitions. But God forbid I can't pronounce it worth a damn.
Alternatively, if you are a hardly deep pirate, you can look up PDFs for tarot books. Take those meanings. You can Google what a card might mean. They probably won't have the same meanings across where you read, but as long as you can gather a general meaning of what it could be, until you are at the point where you can read the card for yourself without having to worry about what it could possibly mean. It's great.
There's many ways to, like, I'm gonna tell you the way that I read tarot has nothing to do with the meanings. because I read them like they're a story and a movie, and it's like, okay, so let's say we have this guy. Okay, this is a dude on a horse. He might be fucking, depending on the next card, he's going to beat up somebody moving quickly with a bunch of rocks. I don't know. Sticks.
Hey, look!
I didn't plan for this one. Oh,
Look
shit.
at that!
Oh, shit. Look. Anyway. But there's a video series that I actually will reference in the series that you can learn tarot without ever reading a book or anything. Just read it like it's a fucking movie.
Alternatively,
Look at the pictures and be like, okay, this horse is exaggerated and maybe his life is going to hell.
Thankfully, we are here to help because Space also has a short series called Tarot in 60 Seconds.
That is true. Because I actually do want to learn the meanings. So I'm using this tarot series as a way to also learn tarot better.
And I think they're doing wonderful. And honestly, I think that we should do like a video one day of you giving me a reading and me giving you a reading, just so people can see how we do our tarot readings.
Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
We need somebody in here to just write things down for us.
Right. We are our own.
We have so many good ideas. We have so many good ideas, and then we're just like, ADHD, float away, and forget about them. But it's okay. We have, yeah, I would absolutely love to do that because, oh, if anybody has Kindle Unlimited, there's a bunch of witchcraft books on there as well.
True. Very, very true.
If you already have it, use it, but don't go out of your way to buy it.
Right.
I don't support Amazon. I actually don't have an Amazon account anymore. So I don't have Kindle Unlimited, but I used to use it like religiously. And I can't say that. I can't say anything bad about Kindle Unlimited. It gets a lot of people away who can't get into traditional publishing a way to publish their books.
Right. Some people are Kindle readers, but people are hardcover readers. As long as you're a reader, it's okay. All readers matter.
That's me. I literally actually just prefer to read real books. That's the only
Me
reason
too.
I got rid of it.
I just don't like holding a real book doesn't give me
Something
the same
so satisfying
sensation.
about it.
It's not the same sensation. Holding a phone instead of a book doesn't give me the same sensation of when I'm reading it, because it's like, yeah, I'm scrolling, but I want to flip the pages. I want to smell that new book smell. I want to play with the binder and the little covers. Like, I love hard-covered books. I will always buy a hardcover book.
Absolutely. That's the only reason that I got rid of Kindle Unlimited, because that was the only reason I was using Amazon anymore, was to read through Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, what do I need this anymore for? I don't even like to read through these books because I get too distracted. As soon as there's a notification, I'm like, oop, time to go to the notification and start looking.
I only use Amazon because for me, it's convenient to be able to buy a bunch of different things that I need all together in bulk, rather than having to go to this website and then buy it here, and then having to go to this website and buy it here. And then it costs more money because I'm paying shipping on all of those, where I can just have it on Amazon for once.
My thing is, on Amazon, you're paying for it anyway because they upcharge now. They're not the cheapest. Yeah, they're not cheap anymore. Amazon made you guys think that they were cheap, and there's certain items on there that are cheaper, like books. You can get on Amazon for cheap because they're underselling and they're taking a loss on them. They're taking a straight loss on books because they're making money on everything else.
That's fair. But it's
Amazon
just
is not cheap
in one
anymore.
Place. And
It's the convenience.
Everything. Yeah, it's just convenient.
And I totally get it, but I'm just saying, don't think that you're saving money, really, because you're not.
I'm saving time.
You're saving time, and that's perfectly fine, because time is way more important than money.
Time is money.
Like, you only have so much time in this world, and you can get money. Money is energy, and you could always have energy. There's energy everywhere. But time,
unless you're a vampire.
time is...
If you've been alive for 1 billion years and you're still broke,
Then you're just dumb. Then I just don't know what to help you, man. That's a you issue. You're on your own.
Rogue vampire is crazy.
For real? Like, you're gonna be alive for that long and be broke?
That's crazy. What have you been doing for the past 500 millennia? Like, what's going on? Why are you broke? Please.
Why are you broke?
I do not understand.
Ooh. I was looking on Pinterest because I will always say that Pinterest will give you good ideas.
Pinterest
Don't
is like Tumblr better without the people.
Yeah, it's like because you don't have to hear the people's comments if you don't want to.
Right.
You just ignore that.
For real.
On Tumblr, you can't. You literally get... Here you go. Pinterest is a great way to get ideas for spells if you want to start making your own spells, because they'll give you a baseline and then you can just refit it to kind of fit your way of witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll always support Pinterest as a way to get ideas.
Right.
Don't use it as a research tool because it's not really a research tool.
It's a reference tool.
It's a reference tool. Like, oh, this is how they did this spell. Okay, so I can do this, and then mix it with this spell because they also did this way. That kind of vibes. It's not something that you use for research. You want to research through books. Through archive.org is a great way to get stuff for open source.
I learned something new today.
Archive.org is basically everything on the internet. That's where I actually found the D&D books. All the old ones, though. Like, they're all on there.
I love the Yarg Harg Market. It's my favorite.
Oh! Because there is a line that I learned and I heard recently that I like about somebody pirating a video game. They were pirating an indie game and they posted about it on TikTok, on Twitter, and were like, I love pirating indie games. And the publisher of that fucking game retweeted it and said, good, so long as you support the fact that you are playing the game and telling people that you like the game. Because culture should not be locked behind a paywall. You can pay with word of mouth. Word of mouth matters.
Because you want to make back the money that you spent producing this thing. But
somebody will pay for it.
Exactly. Like, if someone pirates it, someone's going to pay for it.
They're going to tell people.
People are going to buy it. Because it's like, especially if you like the game too. If you like the game, you're going to probably buy it. Just to
You're going to
support
eventually
it.
pirate. It's just like, you want to try it first. You don't want to just jump into it and then be like, oh, I don't actually like this game at all. And I drop like $60 on it.
If games had trials like Final Fantasy XIV, if more games had trials like that, where you can play the game for free up to a certain point, and they actually enjoy it, they'll buy it.
I'm now a proud subscriber of Final Fantasy XIV.
And it's like trying on clothes. You want to see if you like it. If you don't like it when you put it on, cool. Somebody else is going to like it, and they're going to buy it. Like, pirating, I feel like it's just a good trial basis for trying out a game that you want to buy.
And it's unfortunately that everybody doesn't want to be, like, it's such a idea that it's so bad to pirate things. Word of mouth is way more important than fucking just money. Because if you literally don't hear anything about a game that is good to play, like, nobody tells you, oh, this game was really fun to play, you're not going to want to buy it.
Don't pirate indie games, though. Like, the smaller companies that don't have a lot of money and they're using what they have to make this really cool game.
Don't
pirate that one.
Just a reminder is that the game that was being pirated was an indie studio.
Oh.
And he said absolutely pirate it so long as you talk about how much you like the game.
Well, okay, then. He basically gave the blessing.
But remember what I said. He said literally verbatim that culture and video games as a part of our culture should not be locked behind a paywall. Culture should not be for only those that can afford it.
Right.
And video games is a part of our culture as a society now.
Capitalism.
And no culture should be locked behind a paywall. Culture should not exist for only those that can afford it. That's not fair. That's not fair to say that poor people don't have culture. They do. They're the people that have the most culture because they have survived with little funds.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that absolutely, so long as you pay in some way with supporting the company by being vocal about how much you like the game, by being like, oh, if you know somebody that can't afford it and will like the game, be like, dude, you should buy this and hang out with me and play it with me. Something like that.
Your friends will probably buy the game for you too. And
absolutely.
They're still gonna profit from it. Like, no matter what, they're still gonna profit because somebody's going to buy it. It may not be the margin that they're trying to go for, but as long as the exposure is there, they'll get it.
And I feel like a lot of the people that pirate, if and when they get money, will buy the game regardless. Because they're collectors typically. The type of people that pirate are collectors. That go through big media. Like, I have tons of movies above my TV that you cannot see. And these little things right behind Apollo, stacked with movies. I will tell you 100% that my husband pirated every single one of them first. But we went out and bought every single one of them.
Yep. Most of the games that I yard hog, I buy. Because I like it. It's like, well, now I want access to all the features.
Because at the end of the day, you never get the full game with an ARG version.
Right.
You never get the full game with an R version. There's always going to be some feature that you're missing out on. So it's always worth it to, if you end up having that money, to get the real game. You are eventually going to buy the real game regardless.
Right.
So I will never say that pirating is wrong, so long as you do something that benefits the people that you're... Unless you don't like the game, then don't support that way, but, whatever.
If you don't like the game and you don't support it, then don't play it.
Yeah, that's just it. Just stop playing it.
It's like...
But if you like it and you're R-ing it, just promote it in some way. Talk about it. Be like, dude, this thing is fucking awesome. I hope that everybody plays it. Mm-hmm. At least 2 people are going to listen to you.
And then 2 people will listen to them, and it'll keep growing and growing and growing.
Word of mouth is so much more important than people will understand. That is always what sells games. That's what sells anime. I won't watch something until somebody says it's good. I won't play something until someone says it's good. It took me fucking how many years to play Stardew Valley, and the only reason I did it is because Mia gave me access to her games.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I typically don't like things that most people like. So if someone tells me that they don't like something, then I'm still gonna try it out, because even if they don't like it, I might.
See, it depends on what they tell me about they don't like it. Mm-hmm. If they tell me features that I know I like, I'm going to be like, oh, then I'm going to like that game. And I'm not going to listen. So I guess, if you don't like a game, still talk about it, because somebody might like what you're complaining about.
Very true. I have a friend who hounded me to play Genshin for a billion years. And every time they were like, play Genshin, play Genshin, play Genshin. I'm like, no. Because if someone hounds me to continuously do something, I'm not going to do it. Because why would I want to? At this point, it feels like an obligation and a chore, and I'm not going to do it because you're literally telling me to do it every day. But I eventually gave in because I was like, all right, I just want you to shut up. If you're watching this, love you. However, shut up. But I'm like, fine, let's play it. Whatever. Loved Genshin. Hoyo came out with Star Rail. Love Star Rail. Did not say a thing about Star Rail to space. I just said, oh, I like this game. I didn't tell them, play the game, play the game, play the game. I didn't try to force it on them.
Literally just offhanded said, I like this game. I'm going to play it. Do you want to watch? And I'm always a sucker for watching people play games. Sucked right in.
Right. Final Fantasy 14, never said a thing about it, never hounded them to play, probably never even mentioned it. I might have mentioned some characters that I had but
you were just like, the only thing that you talked about was the fact that the new expansion was coming out, and you were like, oh, well, I'm gonna be playing, so you're just gonna have to deal with this. And I was like, okay, I'll watch, whatever. So she was just like, and I was like, damn, now I want to play.
And now Space loves the game. Word of mouth really is like
way more important.
I hate to use this as an example, but cancel culture. Cancel culture is an example of why word of mouth is so strong and impactful. It's not the best. It's not the best example, but
it works.
It goes into watching your words. It goes into words are spells. So be careful what you say. Watch your words and manifest, affirm, all that. That's a really good another good broke bitch witch tip. Words. You can literally speak your intentions, and you can cast a spell that way too.
Truthfully, this is the cheapest chip that
we suck today.
Let me be real. I suck at English regardless, but that is the cheapest trick, we can give you at all. Is words are powerful. If you talk down about yourself, your brain registers that as fact. Because your brain is dumb. Your brain doesn't understand, like, fact and fiction. It does not understand anything that comes into its brain. It's just real. Like, if you say, oh, I'm stupid, your brain just takes that as, oh, you're stupid. I'll look for everything that confirms you're stupid. If you say, oh, I'm pretty, your brain is gonna start looking for things that confirm that you're pretty. Your brain is biased. It is always going to look to confirm what you say. What comes out of your mouth.
This is why sometimes
really
it's okay to fake it till you make it. Okay? If you have been feeling like you're ugly and you look in the mirror and you're like, ugh, I'm ugly. Your brain's gonna be like, okay, then yeah, you're ugly. We're gonna find everything that we can to make you seem that you're ugly. It's
gonna find every flaw that you don't like and be like, okay, this is why you're ugly, fix it. This is why you're ugly, fix it. This is why you're ugly, fix it. And then when you're done with fixing all that stuff, it's still gonna think, well, that's not perfect, so you're not still ugly. Because you haven't been telling yourself, well, I'm fine as is. If I fix things up, it's just gonna make me look better, but I'm still pretty.
Yep.
Your brain is always going to look to confirm what you say. So if you
look in the mirror and you say, I'm a bad bitch,
it's going to look to confirm that you are a bad motherfucking bitch. If you look in the mirror and say, oh God, I look like a slob, it's going to look for reasons to confirm that you look like a slob.
Like, yes. And that's why you wake up and be like, damn, I look disgusting. That's okay. Because you might look disgusting to yourself right now. But as long as you know that every other day you feel like you look beautiful, as long as you're like, it's okay, I'm going to look beautiful later.
Yeah, so long as you be like, that's not how I look every time. Be like, damn, I look like I need a shower right now. Say something like that.
It's conditioning. You're training your brain to compliment you. And listen, attraction is subjective. And I'm going to say this right now. If someone calls you ugly, fuck them. Because even if someone believes that you're ugly, that just means you're not attractive to them. Exactly. Somebody's always going to be attracted to you, no matter what.
There's
you might not find that person yet.
18. There's 8 million people in this fucking world. Some motherfucker is going to find you cute. I said 18. That's a lot of people.
We're the only 2 people on the world. All of our views come from us.
That's it. We just keep re-watching all of our shit with all 18 people out there.
But literally, if someone calls you ugly, that does not mean that you're ugly, okay? Attraction is subjective. Beauty is subjective. Fucking conventional beauty standards aren't real. Just because media says this is attractive does not mean that is the end-all be-all, okay?
Literally anything in reality is somewhat subjective. Because each perspective is reality, and your perspective is different than my perspective.
It's like Mau Mau said in Apothecary Diaries. Just because this person thinks that this flower is more beautiful does not mean that this flower isn't also beautiful. It's subjective because someone might think that this flower is more beautiful than this flower.
Preference matters. Everybody has preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Just because one person doesn't think you're beautiful doesn't mean that that person is wrong. It just means that that person is not for you. Move on. Every single person does not need to think you're beautiful for you to be beautiful.
As long as you think that you're beautiful, then you are beautiful.
Absolutely. You will be beautiful inside and out. Because inside matters more than outside. I can look at the most beautiful person in the world, like, from the magazine and be like, well, yeah, but she's a terrible fucking person, so I don't really think she's that attractive. I care more about your personality as a person rather than your face. So if you're ugly inside, I'm going to think you're ugly outside. I don't care if you've got $100,000 invested in your appearance. You are still going to be an ugly piece of poop to me.
Don't let conventional beauty standards dictate your beauty. Just because everybody in the world don't look like Kim Kardashian, don't mean that you're ugly. You don't have to look like that to be considered attractive at all.
It's so funny because how did you know I was thinking about Kim Kardashian being ugly?
I don't think Kim K is ugly. I actually think that she was more beautiful before all her surgery, but that's just my preference. I don't think that Kim Kardashian, who has had work done, should be the beauty standard. Because then broke people are going to be like, well, that's not fair. If I can't fucking change the way I look, then why should that be the beauty standard?
Just for the record, I literally was referencing her personality. That's why I find her ugly. That bitch is not ugly, but I will think of you on a term of beauty based on your personality. When I mean that I could find Kim Kardashian attractive, and I do, she is a pretty person. She's got all of her shit in order. She's got her curves set up. Subjectively, that's a well put together bitch. I still don't find her attractive because I don't like her personality.
And that is okay.
So it's just pointing out that just because she is subjectively put together, pretty, doesn't mean I'm going to find her attractive. Doesn't mean I'm going to find anybody attractive. So you need to think about other people thinking that as well. Because you could be the prettiest person in the room, but you've got a bad attitude. People aren't going to like you.
Unless they're into that, and then, whatever. Go off,
If they're into that, go off. I'm not.
But I want to also say, don't try to base the way you want to look off of how somebody else looks. Just because fucking Alice over here looks like the most beautiful thing in the world to you, that doesn't mean that you should look like Alice. Just because you think Alice is attractive doesn't mean, okay, well, since I think that Alice is pretty, then I have to look like Alice.
Or I'm not pretty.
No, you don't. That's why you look at yourself and be like, you are your own beauty standard, okay? If you think you're cute, amazing. If you have a terrible attitude, though, and you think you're cute and you're not conventionally attractive, then people are going to think that you're ugly.
It's because you don't think you're ugly. Confidence is all that matters. Like, so long as you're confident in yourself, somebody out there is gonna think you're fucking sexy. 100%.
Do I fit conventional beauty standards? No. Do I think that I'm pretty? Yes. And I tell myself that every single day. And if somebody's like, okay, well, you're ugly. Cool, good, love that for you. I think I'm cute. And if you're mad at me because I am confident in the way I look, but you don't think that I'm attractive, you're projecting and you're mad about it. And you can stay mad about it. I'm sorry that you don't have the confidence. I would love for you to have that confidence so then we can see where we're coming from. But if you're just, well, you don't look like Kim Kardashian, so you're fucking ugly, and I hate that you're confident about it because you're ugly. No, you just think that I'm ugly, and that's fine because I think that I'm cute.
I just fucking rolled my eyes at that thought process. That's so ugly. The idea that everybody has to look a certain way to be pretty is just weird. The idea that everyone fits us, we all need to be like neurotypicals kind of fucking way is weird. Like, everybody should be different.
Yep.
There's beauty in difference. There's beauty in being different than the next person because you have a different perspective of reality and you have that knowledge and the wisdom, and there's beauty in that. So you're always beautiful. It's just you have to think you're beautiful.
And if you also, my nose ring came out. If you happen to share similarities with somebody, then you're both unique and you both should flaunt and you both should team up together because that would be one powerful fucking presence. Okay?
Absolutely. Now back on the topic of broke bitch witch tips, because where did we go with that words subject of just giving everybody a physiological lesson, I guess. Psychological? Physiological.
Either way, it can apply here because just because you don't have a bunch of money doesn't necessarily mean that you are ugly or you can't do witchcraft or you can't be spiritual or whatever.
Yeah. You don't need money. Trust. Because when you make your morning coffee, I forgot to mention this and I meant to mention this. When you make your morning coffee or your morning tea, you can enchant them clockwise to bring it to you, counterclockwise to push it away. So if you want prosperity, let's say you make a ginger lemon tea for energy. You want energy to come with you, turn it clockwise and be like, I am going to be very energetic today.
Maybe that's why caffeine don't work for me. I've been turning it counterclockwise this whole time.
Mia, or you might just have ADHD because caffeine makes us sleepy.
True. Caffeine do me. I'm gonna stir clockwise next time and see if I see a difference.
If any, like 100%, if you have ADHD, caffeine makes you either sleepy or heart attack. No in between. That comes from experience, though. Caffeine don't work on me.
Caffeine don't work on me either.
And I also realized that my husband might also be a little ADHD because something doesn't work on him, and it's supposed.
We're all a little neurospicy.
In this group, absolutely. Even Apollo, without a doubt, this boy's neurospicy. Hi, Willie Dolls. Oh, okay. He's gonna come down now. Hello, he's greeting us.
Hello, abuelito.
I was kind of wondering, wait, I was like, are you frozen?
Hello, abuelito.
But, so enchanting your morning coffee is a great way to just do a quick spell work, get used to using energy work really cheaply. And I'm going to assume that this is a sign that we probably should wrap up.
It has been an hour and basically about 10 minutes.
Yeah, so Apollo
right.
coming down has decided to like, it's time to wrap up. You got to pay attention to me, Mom. Say goodbye.
Well, then, yeah. So, thank you for joining us for our Broke Bitch Witch Tips. We probably will have some more references in the description.
That we did not talk about here.
We do also have some good, what could be considered Broke Bitch Witch Tips in our last Witchy Wednesday, which is for the Broom Closet Witches.
Absolutely.
So,
there's actually very good witch tips in there too, for sure.
So if you want to learn a little bit more, go ahead and check that video out. We'll probably have it at the end of this somewhere, whatever. Make sure that you like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell to be informed when we post new videos and or shorts.
Please do. We love to hear your, we want to hear things that you would like us to, Apollo!
My guy got his booty in the camera.
Oh, for real, dude. He knows that I'm not paying attention to him. Yes, make sure to leave comments of like what you guys want to see us talk about, learn about, what animes you guys want us to see us learn. And I have one quick tip that I did not include. Music is energy. Music is powerful. Music is spells. Use music to your advantage. Make sure to use happy music if you want to be happy. If you're listening to sad music and you're sad, yeah, maybe that's why. Okay, that's all.
We have an episode about that. We have an episode on color meditation. We have an episode on music. We have an episode on that. So we'll probably also have those at the end of this video too. So yeah, if you're interested in all those different types of ways, make sure that you give those videos a watch and hopefully you can share with what you've learned.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Yes.
I'm excited. Say goodbye, abuelitos.
And remember, practice wisely and stay safe. May all of your positive affirmations and manifestations come to fruition. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye. See you later. If you are positive, you better bless our space. If you are negative, you... I fucked it up.
We're putting this at the end of the video. It's the bloopers. It's okay.
I got nervous. All right. Here's my throat.